Actually connect to a Cradlepoint.
Maybe you can show the dashboard first before we go into the.
Right, so this is how a dashboard actually looks like, right? Alright. So a dashboard will actually give you multiple types of views. You have, let me actually see.
Refresh everything.
Yes. Alright. So on the dashboard level, you can actually see everything. How many routers you are actually managing, what is the operators that you are actually using, as well as the LT. Whatever that you actually have in your management, it will actually be showing you down here. How much you have been using for the last 30 days. You can see Ethernet, modem data, Wi-Fi, SRAM data usage. Everything's actually, and this is basically based on the last 30 days. So today is the, what's the date today? 22nd? Yeah. So from the 23rd of last month until today, yeah, the last 30 days. It will actually give you a breakdown as well, basically on the graph usage, group status overview, what are the routers that you are actually managing on a group level. Group meaning that you have multiple routers be set into the group, so that when you want to make changes, you just need to actually apply it within that group, and then it will actually be pushed down on the routers which is at the remote sites. You don't need to actually do the same thing again and again and again. Yeah. And everything is actually done on the graphical user interface, this single pane of glass. And this is actually internet based. It is HTTPS, so it's actually secure, don't need to worry. Yeah. If let's say you are in doubt, you can always actually see what type of encryption is actually using. You have the certificate, all that. Then, alright. Then if let's say you go under the modem usage, you can actually see what are the carriers that is actually being used. For example, this one is actually using StarHub. Then you can actually see the StarHub billing period. And then if you were to go down here again, what you can do is that you can actually see in terms of how it actually projects the data. Yeah. For example, alright. So on the, let me actually just scroll in. So down here you can actually see on the February 1st, this is how much is actually being used on the StarHub. Then out of 10, you can actually see what is the worst case, forecast, best case. Yeah. If you are actually managing a customer and it is within the same telco, then you'll be able to also do your budgeting. As an IT manager, you need to know what's the best case scenario, what's your monthly budget that you actually need to spend. Now on this side, what you can actually see is that you will be able to see the clients that's actually been using too much, too little, who's actually abusing it. For example, this you can actually see, right? Unknown, meaning that that particular device has already been removed. This is basically based on the MAC address. That will be based on the router name or device name. A lot of things that are actually be seen, right? Then you can actually see the traffic, the types of traffic. If you have been using Meraki, you can also see that this is what also Meraki is also offering. Yeah. And you can actually see that the types of applications actually being used, how much of data. Now, this is why this has actually come out on Cradlepoint, is because Cradlepoint is revolving around LT, whereby it is usage based by the GB or by the MB, depending on the operator itself. Then you need to be very calculative whether that particular application is really needed for your office usage, for your users. Don't tell me that users actually need to browse YouTube or video streaming sites in order to be functional in their job role. Or perhaps maybe they do need because they are in a classroom environment whereby they actually need to watch videos in order to see how things work and all. Yeah, depends on the type of application. Some need it, some don't need it.
Some on Netflix, yeah. it's a choice, right? So the first step of setting your network is to understand what's going on, right? And from there on, you can put your different network settings and parameters.
Yes.
We have a customer in the maritime space, the cruise line. They have how many users?
430 something. Okay.
Yeah, 400 users. That on the day off, they all want to have internet. They get close to shore. They're waiting. Basically, all the tourists are out, touring the city. They're sitting on the ship doing nothing. So their satellite internet is too expensive. 20 US a day or something. So they're not going to use that. So people still want internet access. So what we built for them is a service that allows them to browse, crew Wi-Fi. But they specifically said, yes, we want social media, right? We want Facebook. We want all these things because that's essential, right? These guys have been out in the sea for a week. They want to be communicating to their families. So you can basically, depending on what customers' requirements, you can set those things. But we also have construction companies, that say, look, I really need connectivity, but my previous router that I placed there, which was like a Huawei or something, the guy burned through 50 gig, within a couple of days because all he was doing is watching YouTube. So how can we prevent that? So this allows you to really be able to block, certain applications, certain websites, and also understand who's doing what.
So let me actually delve a bit more further, right? So this is the Cradlepoint actually will be using, let's say you're going to be on the Cradlepoint. What happens is that this is the devices. This is a single pane of glass where you can actually see whether it's up, whether it's down, what is the IP address that's actually assigned to it, or maybe you can actually do what? Ping test. If you want to do any further testing, you can also remote into the device. Now, there's also one more thing that we failed to actually mention to you. When you are using a mobile network doesn't have any IP address. It does have an IP address, but it's going to be a private dynamic IP address. In order for you to remotely manage your device, the traditional way would be either you do it on DNS level or you do it on IP level. So you actually type the IP address and then you remotely connect to it. When you're on a mobile network, you don't have that luxury anymore because the IP address is always connected on the carrier side. So it's a carrier grade net. So there are multiple netting being done on the carrier side, and at the end of the day, you can actually see there's a public IP address called 1.144.6696 or 115. These are the IP addresses, but you cannot actually go into the device directly. So how do you actually do that, right? This is where Cradlepoint actually comes into play. So Cradlepoint actually says that in order for my router to be managed, I will have a host which is on AWS, and this particular host will just wait for any incoming connection. It is up to the router, the Cradlepoint, on the branch side to be speaking back to the server. So it's basically they are the ground people that will start calling back home and start reporting itself. It says that I'm alive. Please show on the portal and put a green tick on it. So this is how it actually does it. Let me actually give you a bit more. This is a router which I actually have in Australia, our Australia office, right? So this is how it actually does it, right? It will actually hold itself and check that every few minutes it will actually do a checking. Says that, alright, I'm alive. If let's say it's not alive, then you can actually see on the portal that it will not be working anymore. It will just be red dot or exclamation mark, right? And this is how it's actually being done. This is how Cradlepoint manage the device via remote. And this actually comes on the box. If you have to take a Cradlepoint brand new, take out from the box, make sure that it gets connected to the internet, then it automatically will check back to the server.
Which is also a good security feature, because if you have a lot of devices out there, even if people would do factory reset it, right, or try to go in there or do certain things, the moment it has internet connection, it will go back and it will get its configuration from the cloud. So you're in full control of the devices. There is still a traditional way. Yes, you can take it out, start plugging in, and go into the router. But nobody's doing it anymore. The moment the router is set up as being cloud controlled, it will always listen to what the cloud is telling it. So that's the main change with the traditional way, where you had to send engineers to the site. You go with TeamViewer. You go we do all these things. We've gone through it many times, right? You try to go in those things. Now you centrally set it up, and the devices they listen to what you centrally.
Now we have worked with Cradlepoint and we actually take one step further. So what happens is that newly purchased device, right? Before it actually gets shipped out from the US, because Cradlepoint is actually from the US, so it gets shipped out directly from the US. Before it actually gets shipped out, it will be pre-registered on the NetCloud. So what happens is that this device, you don't even need to have it staged. As long as that it has internet connection, you power it on, then you actually look into your NetCloud portal. Once it actually turns on, then after that you can actually sit down here. There's a green tick, then you can start configuring. You don't actually need anyone to help you out, or to help to configure at the location. All you need to do is that you just need to instruct someone. Plug into internet access, I want to configure the device. It is that simple. That is your one-touch provisioning, right? And then if let's say you want it to be on the group level, whereby you can actually see there are multiple routers that you actually need to deploy. We're not talking about one, two, we're talking about tens, 20s, hundreds, thousands. Maybe you actually have like a super big project. You don't actually expect your NOC or your installers to be doing the same thing again and again and again. So what you need to do is that you just need to actually have this, then you actually push it into a place called groups. Right? So group is basically, you will actually create a template, right? You preset the configuration, because we all know that if I say it's going to be a big project, and the routers are going to be the same, most probably the configuration, the base configuration is all going to be the same as well. Yeah. So why not actually create a group, and then you just port over all your routers into this particular group, and then you're good to go. Yeah. One touch provisioning, no brainer.
You want to show the auto VPN?
It's the auto VPN. The auto VPN is on a different. One second, right?
So what we showed you here is all kind of things that make the life of an IT manager easier, right? And that's also what we use. That's why our life is relatively easy compared to before, because we have a lot of routers under management, right? So all these routers are everywhere, but because it's set up in the system the way it works, we have full control on whether they are in Mongolia or in New Zealand or in Germany. All these routers they connect back.
It's not agree. Sorry.
No worries.
Right. So this is the auto VPN feature. Of course, having an auto VPN feature means that you actually need to have everything under the Cradlepoint family. Because it has to be in the same family in order for you to actually have that cohesiveness in terms of working together and pushing the configuration. The easiness of having this auto VPN feature is basically you do not need to do the traditional things anymore. You don't need to know what is the AES, SHA, IKEV1, IKEV2, your what do you call this? Your pre-shared key. Everything is basically auto-generated, and it actually takes one step further. Not only it actually uses a pre-shared key which is auto-generated by the system, it will also be using a certificate. So basically, what you actually do is that the hub will actually be creating a certificate, and then after that, it will just disseminate it out to the branch sites. So you actually have a different type of encryption method. You actually have the PCI, which is a standard. PCI is commonly being used by all the credit card transaction. The PCI standard. You have the Suite B128. This is all preset HIPAA. Yeah. In order for you to know what are the different types of encryption hash algorithm that's actually being used, you can always click on the here. Then you will be able to actually tell you. It will be. Let me see. Well, it's somewhere around here. Sorry.
I think the main thing is you do not need your CCNA and all those certifications anymore to work with Cradlepoint, right?
Cradlepoint is
I'm
so
definitely
easy.
not technically. I can configure a router. I can make VPN connections. And you have all the help right here on your site as you go through the process. Whether you want full tunnel or you can do hub and spoke or all those things, click and it's going to Yeah. Well, I think what maybe just going back to the presentation, right? We talked about provisioning, the securing part, right? We talked about. So that allows you to block and filter different websites. There is also a more advanced version that even does intrusion protection. So if there is DDoS or there is weird stuff going on, right, that shouldn't be certain IP addresses.
DDoS, not DDoS.
DDoS. There's a whole range of security threats, right, that can be defended against. So all these things are, again, they're part of the same setup, and it's a matter of enabling. The next part is the controlling part, right? So of course this is table stakes for most of the network systems, right? Yes, you can get alerts, you can get activity logs, you can have a remote connect, even regardless of the IP address, right? You connect through the net cloud and back to the device. There's tons of control that you get, and visibility. You have visibility in your usage, in your clients, and in your traffic. So you know exactly what's going on. So the days of being dark and have some 4G stuff going on there where you don't know what's happening, that's over. It's truly part of the network. And last but not least is NetCloud can be extended to also non-Cradlepoint devices. So again, with the team from Single Technologies, where they're building it into their robots. Now there's some really interesting things you can do where with APIs, you can pull certain information from the router, GPS location, what's my location, and use that in a different application. You can run certain applications directly on the device. With Python and other scripts, etc., you can run those directly on the Cradlepoint. So the Cradlepoint is becoming a computer for you. Or you can even extend your network to other clients as well, to a server or to a laptop, to a tablet. So you don't have to be just bound to the Cradlepoint device only. You can build your secure network across multiple devices.